What's up there, Steve-O?
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, good. Let me. I was running real late today, so I didn't get a chance to like really get this out to some groups and all. Give me a second to just
That's
let
fine.
everybody know we're doing this. I had it up in the room, but
No worries.
so I'm glad to see your merch order finally went through.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know on what on earth was going on there, to be completely honest.
I think it was something
No
with
idea.
me. I think they were kind of making it seem like it was something with me because it was a like a new account, and like I got like five orders like really quick.
Ah.
So they like put the account on hold.
I can't even. I can't. I have to say, I can't even remember looking at how long their delivery times were. In
It's
honesty,
pretty
I don't
quick.
know if
Tevins is already like on the way to delivery. Like they were getting production done in like 2 days.
awesome. Well, hopefully, I can have some new, you know, apparel to boot for launch day. Right?
Yeah, you should have it by launch day.
Awesome.
All right.
Hey, Mike,
Hey, what's up?
it's Brett. It's Chubbs.
Oh shit, Chubbs, what's up?
Give me a second. I'm gonna try to get some of those guys over in African Wells group to come over for this.
Oh,
If you
great.
guys
Yeah,
could listen in there.
I'm trying to get some people in it too. So
All right. Well, hold up.
I have no rush tonight. I was expecting the wife to vacate. I kind of gave her a hall pass to go away for the weekend, and she didn't take it, which was quite remarkable.
really,
Um, yeah, I think there's a little bit of a different thought process than us men. You know, you get a hall pass. You know, you can't see me for dust. She was like, oh, it's raining. I don't want to drive. I'm like, nope, it's raining going to stop me.
whatever.
It could it could be frozen over outside. I'd be gone. You know?
How how far are you from like a big city?
Probably. Well, there's a few. So we're probably. I mean, if you're talking like big cities, probably 30 minutes in total. Nearest kind of next bigger is kind of 15 minutes. But when you're talking about kind of because I'm right on the border in between Switzerland and France, so you can kind of go to Strasbourg or Colmar, or you can go to Basel or Bern, Lucerne, Zurich, etc., etc. So they're all pretty close by.
That's awesome.
Um,
How close are you to Paris?
it's about four and a half, depending on how you drive. If I take my car, a little bit less.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, I still have a UK license. So when I get fined, you just get a fine. You don't get points. So that's kind of a bit of a bonus.
Now, do you pay
Because
for
I have to say,
gas? Do you pay for gas by the liter everywhere over in Europe?
yeah, and I actually filled up today. What was it? It was 192 Swiss francs per liter. So I see everyone in the US complaining about, $5 a gallon. I'm like, geez, it costs me like $150 to fill my car up. But no,
Yeah,
so gas
I'm a,
prices aren't great.
we briefly went up to $4 a gallon here, and then it's gone down a little bit. It's like 3.65 right now. So I mean, that's definitely way cheaper than what you're at.
Yeah, I think it's like a third of the price, right? I guess. So I work it out. I'm really not sure what they spend all these taxes on. It must be the kind of the president's party or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, really. All right, so we got it out to a couple people here, and let's see. All right, I'm gonna put our website up in the background.
Cool, cool.
Do you follow basketball at all?
I have to say, I don't actually follow any sport. In honesty, I haven't got time.
Yeah, seriously.
um, don't follow anything. I think probably the moment. Well, there's two kind of things. I used to play professional darts, which is an
Darts, huh?
interesting one. Yeah, I used to play professional darts on the PDC. And I also used to play professional tennis when I was younger as well, but I don't quite have the physique that I used to have in my late teens.
No, definitely not. Dude, I'm looking on the website right now. The wankers look great.
Yeah, they look cool, right?
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, I
And
love the
as
website
always,
design. I
Michelle,
love the colors.
definitely, and as always Michelle, and I never know. I always think of it. It's kind of the French kind of accent that I take on from talking from here. Is I need to officially ask you: is it Michael? Is it Michelle? Is it? But I have to say, our amazing graphic designer. You know, we just shoot each other a few messages, and 5 seconds later, abracadabra, everything's done. So massive thanks again for getting that sorted. It's yeah, I've never worked with anyone who works as brilliantly as fast as you do. So another great shout out to you. I think everything related to the web stuff. I mean, we'll talk about some of the other stuff, utility wise and stuff that's going on and keeping us busy. But I think everything pretty much around the website. The only last thing we need to tick off on there is the audit, right?
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
everything else is done. All the links are there, the contracts, the poo coin, the merch store, the white paper, the logos. We could probably add some more logos in there, I guess, at some stage. But yeah, it's looking pretty sweet.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. It looks like we got some new members in the group today, so might as well get started. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Dirty Mike with Dirty Mike Crypto, and we got Wanker Token, a token that is very near and dear to my heart. I will disclose I am a member of the team, so I may be a little bit biased, but we definitely got some big things going on. And more than anything, this is a project that, we develop by the people for the people. And that's no BS. We're not just, a bunch of devs that just like sat around and just tried to think of, a cash grab that we could kind of do. We're groups of investors on the team, and we've seen what's worked and what hasn't worked over the last year or so in the BSC space, and that really kind of inspired us to get together and kind of figure out something that is going to kind of go against like the norm right now of what's going on, and really be beneficial to everybody. Because I mean, we like purchasing crypto, but we also like trading crypto too and making a couple bucks on it. It's no fun when you buy a token and you have to hold it for a year because it went down so much. You gotta try to wait for it to go back up to make your 40% to even break even. So that's what kind of inspired us to create Wanker Token so that it can actually be a tradable asset. Isn't that right, Steve?
100%. And I think that's where I always go back to that kind of, the first discussions we had with EP on, and just a couple of words around, by the people for the people is, we if you read the website, you'll see kind of our origin and the kind of the background of the name and how this is really. I always go back to that first time when EP, was the first person who ever DM'd me who I didn't automatically delete and block. And I'm so fortunate and grateful that I didn't, because we've kind of built a great friendship, and that has blossomed to include lots of other great friends and like-minded people, investors, and people who would like to have a bit of fun as well. We have a joke, we have a laugh, but also we do some pretty serious investing as well, and I think basically what we thought, and this was something in the mix where we kind of talked about it for 3 to 6 months. We never came up with a kind of an idea of exactly what we wanted to do at that time, but we said we have to do this because so many of the flaws with projects on the BSC and other chains, are you have to gamble that the people behind the screen, aren't crooks, right, and aren't going to steal your money. And I think that component, and trust, transparency, and really trying to do the right thing, really we hope that stands us apart from kind of many of the others. And I think a lot when I really look at things that I invest in personally myself, I invest in the people, not the project, and just going back to the kind of the tax. So we talked about it and said, we were seeing that a lot of, I guess the trend over probably the last 3, maybe even 6 months is the tax is growing exponentially. And there was the boom days of kind of Evergrow and other tokens, and the tax kept going up and up and up and up and up. And don't get me wrong, you could get into a 20-25% BUSD token, and if there was enough marketing and hype at launch, for the first couple of days, you'd make awesome rewards. But then, after that, the volume would dip pretty exponentially, let's be honest, until something new came hot off the press. It didn't really matter how much people marketed. You could never get that volume back up until it's proven that there was a real world utility that actually drove significant volume back into the project. And we talked about this on other AMAs, that I think that these higher tax tokens in 6 to 12 months time will be very, very few and far between. But I think we all know which of them will, serve the test of time and, just absolutely blow up because the team and the real world use cases that are behind them. So basically we said, how can we do something a little bit different? Because we don't want people to kind of just ride that first kind of wave and, pick up the rewards that everyone's super excited about. But then, after a week, it stagnates and everyone just kind of isn't happy if they got in at an all-time high or whatever happened.
And then you're on to the next project, then it's, what's the next big reflection project going on? And then, you kind of lose your holders to that, and it just loses interest. So we want to create something that's sustainable that, we don't mind you guys selling. And then, making a quick, 10, 20%, then getting back in because it's only 5% in, 5% out. And that's what the real key to the token is. If you guys don't take anything from anything that we say here today or, this upcoming week to launch, is that, buy, wait for it to go up a little bit, sell, make it a couple bucks, and then, get back in at a little bit of a dip and, eat the dip up. And, that's what's really going to be unique about it.
100%, and I think that's where you could compare like the 5% in, 5% out. Only 1% of that goes to LP, 1% to marketing, 3% back to you guys as holders in BUSD. But if you just think about the math and the projects that have got these, let's say 25% or even 18% or whatever it is, I'm not dissing their projects. I'm just saying it's a challenge that I don't think necessarily has to be there today. But if you got into something that is 18%, rewards, let's say, or 18% tax, we could, have far higher volume because people are jumping in and out to make, even if it goes up 10%, you can make 5%. That's better than what you get from your bank. We all know that. So as Mike said, it is a token that we actually want people to trade. Obviously, with the private sale that was done, we've very carefully hand selected the people that we've got involved in the project. These are people who we have known for a long time, who we trust and we know have held down other projects. The pre-sale, also the same. A lot of that was done to kind of new members of the community, people who are really, clearly into what we're doing and the mantra of what we're trying to achieve. But we're also saying, we want people to be responsible. We don't want these people to just go, just unload your 1 trillion tokens, as soon as it hits the 5x or whatever. But, we encouraging people do take a portion of that, and sell it and take a profit because there will be peaks, there will be troughs, but as it's only 5% in and out, you can get back in. And I think that is one thing that we believe, and we're hoping we can prove it as a theory, is people aren't scared to get in and out for a quick 10, 15%, rather than, being fearful of getting in thinking, it's already a 10 million market cap. I need to get in now, but I need it to go to like 20 million market cap before I can, take my money back out again. And we know that doesn't happen overnight. So I think that, what we're trying to do is something a little bit different. I think I mentioned it on one of the earlier AMAs, why I kind of said, this is such an awesome idea, EP, because I think it was Raider token. And it's not me shilling a project. I didn't buy it. I don't believe in, I don't know anything about it. But that was like a 1% tax. And that really started to go, viral and exponentially grow because of the fact that it was a low tax token and people would trade it. So this, I think, is something that we're trying to do is different, but we believe potentially will alleviate some of those volume challenges while the utility comes to back everything up.
Yeah, exactly. And, we're also, committed to, joining that whole, movement of, DeFi projects working together. And you guys are going to notice over the next week and months that, we're going to partner up with a lot of projects and, do AMAs with them, do roundtable discussions with them, and kind of do some cross promotions with them because the more legitimate projects that can make it in the space and be aligned with each other, it's just going to add legitimacy to the space and kind of hopefully weed out a lot of the shit projects that are out there. I wanted to give a shout
Yeah.
out to one of our newer members, African Whale. I hear that he's African Whale. You want to unmute for a second?
Good to be here, bro.
Hey.
Really good to be here.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm outside. I went out. Yeah, DMC. Good to see you, bro.
I hear that you're actually launching a project as well, with a small market cap token coming up. Is that true?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Shops is the man. Yo, guys, Shops is the man.
Yeah, Chubbs is great. True story. Chubbs is actually he was the very first member aside from me in this private group that we now have 400 members in the DMC investment group. So Chubbs was actually the first member. We found each other in a failed project called MetaMix. And it was awesome for like the first, couple weeks. I think it was like 17% reflections, and I was like a top, 20 holder, and I had like a huge wallet, and I was just making great reflections. And then the devs just completely disappeared and just abandoned the project, and it sucked. But from there, I met Chubbs because we were just bitching about it constantly, and then the idea for this group kind of came about, and it was just me and him to start, and then we started adding just a few of our friends and stuff like that, and that's how it goes. You start to build contacts in the community, and next thing you know, we just hit our 400th member a few minutes ago. So it's definitely exciting how quick it can go. How far along are you in your process, African Whale, with your token?
All right. We're trying to build up the private sale now, and then after the private sale, we get the white paper, the website, and the contract set. So hopefully we should be launching in 2 weeks, probably.
Oh wow,
with
you're launching
our
quick.
current target now.
Well, in the next
Yeah,
if
we
you
should
want to
be.
give a
It's a
shout
low.
out,
Yeah,
what's the name of your
it's a
token?
low free finance. We are
Free,
raising free men.
all right, free finance. Do you have a Telegram group going yet?
Yes, we do. We do. I think Shops is going to share it in here later if it's needed.
Yeah, that would be good. Share it in the group, and definitely we can maybe get some things going on in the next week or so to get some of our members back and forth between the two groups and start trying to build them up as much as possible for sure. Do an AMA together or something.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, I keep saying Shops is a legend. One thing is to find sincere people in the space.
Yeah,
You see, I've been in this space for quite some time, and finding trusted and sincere people is quite difficult. And meeting with the family recently, meeting with Shops, meeting with you, and some other great guys from other projects. It's really something beautiful.
yeah, and that's what we're trying to do in this community. We're trying to build up the good guys in this community, and next thing you know, like I said, we're 400 members strong here, and that's a force. That's a huge private group. The fact that it's even grown to
To build
400
that. We
members
have
now
persons
is
who can be
just
trusted in this space.
remarkable.
Yeah, bro, my community, they are so amazing. I mean, the engagement there has been so amazing. So when Shops shedding in there, everyone is excited to be here. So, bro,
Awesome.
we're here, we're working together, and we're going to make great strategy space, definitely.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, and Steve, we definitely got some big things coming up this week. We're going to be doing a bunch of AMAs with some different, tokens. We're going to be in a couple call groups. So definitely, guys, keep an eye out for that. We're going to do an open mic night. So we got some big things going on this week. It's just tightening up all the little details between now and now in Saturday's launch. It's remarkable all the little things that really truly goes into a launch, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, and I think now we've kind of been ready to roll for some time. But I think the main thing now, and we've got a shill group now, and we're starting to kind of really drive things. Is we're now officially into launch week, and this is where we really need to intensify everything we're doing to bring the people in, because I think we've got an amazing solid group of people in our Telegram and through partners, collaborations, and everything else. But we all know for this to grow, we need to bring in more people, and we kind of continually encourage everyone to say, if you believe in what we're trying to do, who we are, and how we're trying to do things differently, very much like, and I always give EJ a shout out from Everreflect, who's one of the best guys I've ever met in my life. I think before, what he's been doing and bringing like-minded people together, the BSC space wasn't like this. I invested in projects where I thought I trusted people, and wrong, right?
Yeah.
And I think that through the time of being involved and actually, trying to do something different and actually do this so it's not a cash grab, and that you're actually trying to put people first and not scam people. Yeah, it's very, very different, but it's great fun. But really, the one thing that we really need to amplify now in the run-up for launch is to get more people. Because I think everyone could invite another 2, 3, 4 of their buddies, and organically grow this. But you do need some fresh blood as well to get more eyes on this, because as you were talking about your token, African Whale, but it being kind of a low cap stealth launch, we're the same, right? We are going to be launching at around, depending on the BNB price, around a 40k market cap. And if we get the right buying pressure, launch day could be wild, but we also want to make sure that not just everyone, the 350 whatever people we've got in the chat now are the people who buy. We want more people to come. I'm sure once it starts really driving the volume, and people are seeing the launch, more people are going to come. But I think if we can get them before, the growth is going to be even more exponential. So this week is about, spreading the word, doing everything we can to grow the group, to make sure that we all have that volume that we want, right? That's the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys are going to see, we put together this group very strategically so that, everybody has its unique set of skills to where it almost feels like a think tank in a lot of ways. I mean, we got some really big ideas, guys, that go well beyond Wanchor Token. So, you guys are going to be seeing a lot from us in this next year of, a lot of stuff that's going to be planned and added on to. And we're just really excited to go along on this, journey with you guys for sure.
100%. That kind of goes to yesterday. We were joking about it. I think we came off a VC, right? And then I think I caught up with EP, and then everyone kind of joined in from the board group. And it was like 3.5 hours later. And I think even the ideas that we brainstormed yesterday, which we can't let out of the bag, will be enormous, right? And all of the component parts required are already in progress. So, yeah, great stuff to come. But I also think if we look at what I think I talked a little bit around, how did we get here initially? And we started, even when we put together the initial people for the team, we started to talk about token, and what could it look like? What was the utility? And we got into an incredibly complex ecosystem, right? And not to say we couldn't do it, because we could. I think the most tricky part was the math, and a lot of simulation had to be done to get the math right. And then we said, this is, let's not do this as our first rodeo. Let's do something else. And then we started with the next idea, and then that grew exponentially complex. And then we said, let's just keep it simple. Let's, launch Wanchor Token as we've been planning for kind of, talking about for a number of months. And I think we were joking about it yesterday, but this isn't simple either, right? As things grow and evolve. And obviously we have, the utility, which is going to be around this matchmaking service and pre-vetting to make sure that, we can match content creators and other, service providers in the crypto space to start with projects to make sure that people get, a quality service at a reasonable price. Because I think even when we look at it now, we're thinking, okay, who are these cool groups that we actually want to talk to? Are these guys worth 5 BNB, or they just got 20,000 bots in there, and everyone's just in there kind of when launch, when Lambo, when $1,
Yeah.
And I think that's something that, is obviously our primary utility that's coming. We're obviously looking at how we can get the kind of the staking to really make sure it gives back to everyone who's holding. But even just beyond, what we've got on the white paper and what we've said, I can tell you that our rewards tracker is in development as we speak. That we have NFTs coming that aren't on the roadmap. We have an NFT marketplace that is not on the roadmap, and there'll be much more. So we've only put down, what is currently there planned in the initial plan, but already there's 3 or 4 things beyond what we initially planned. So extremely excited about that. But we're always going to be a team who, even though we have bold ambitions and aspirations, we're not going to be one of these tokens or teams who mentions about anything being soon or imminent, right? Because what we actually want to do, and just one general rule of thumb in business, is always under-promise, over-deliver. Because as soon as you start over-promising and under-delivering, you piss people off, right? And that's not what we're here to do. We're here to be honest. We're here to be transparent. If anything does get delayed, we'll tell you. But I can tell you, the utility that we have planned for Q4 is already very, very, very advanced. And I could probably say, the team might shout at me, but I can say it's not going to be Q4. It will be significantly earlier than Q4. So I can't give you an exact date, but we're looking to kind of smash anything that we put out there. When we talk about the staking, right, we're going through kind of some of the locking as we speak. And rather than lock the tokens up in pink lock for what we had there for burn and staking for, Q2 and keeping it there for the whole of Q2, we're only going to lock that for a month to start with. And that's going to be done very, very soon. So that we can say, hot off the press after the launch, let's talk within the community on what staking we want. We have a decent allocation of tokens there that will reward the holders. But maybe we can spread it up. We don't necessarily have to say the first staking pool is for 12, 24 months and you get X% over time based on your prorated bag size. You could say, let's take 20% of that and do like a boomer for a month. We have the opportunity to do that. So we're not going to lock those up we're going to lock them first for a month, and then we will extend if that is, progresses, but we don't want to lock it for, an extended period of time and then everyone have to sit there waiting for it. So we're going to do it strategically. And there may be a number of different staking options or things that we do. We can burn some if that's what the community wants, but we have 65 trillion tokens there to burn or have as staking. So really, there's more behind this than what we're saying publicly. And obviously we'll share that in good time. But I can tell you that we are ahead of the game when it comes to all of the, bolt-on components and utility that we plan for the project.
Yeah, and we also wanted to announce, officially here that, we have actually checked a few things off of our checklist. If, Steve, you want to make an announcement about the burn and about the contract on the website.
Yeah, so all of the website links are now updated. We have the contract address, we have the link to PooCoin, we have the link to PancakeSwap, and I just wanted to kind of be completely transparent and honest about what we've been doing with the tokens, because obviously anyone who looks in and sees on the BSC scan, somebody like me who's anally retentive and like a rabbit going down a rabbit hole on the BSC. We apologize. We're conscious that if you looked at it from an outsider, it didn't look safe. And I just want to be completely honest on why we hadn't done all of this kind of in a front-loaded way. Because I'll probably say we have I think I mentioned it on the first or the second, or actually probably every AMA, that we have a team locker that's been developed so that we can move the board tokens to the individual board members' wallets and then put them in the locker. We'll obviously share the link to that and prove that it's all locked. They're not vested, they're locked for an initial period of 6 months. But we were waiting for that locker, which we initially were told was going to be 3 days and has actually taken over 3 weeks now, from what I can remember. We were going to do everything in one pass. And in reality, time has run short, and we're very pleased that people have given us feedback and said, you had like 88% of your tokens in one wallet. That doesn't look great. No, of course it doesn't, right? So we literally just processed the burn. The 600 trillion is burnt today. So we have that remaining, bigger wallet that stands out over all of the pre-sale wallets. And we are in the process of, as I said, locking those staking and burn tokens initially for the first month. And if we can't get the team locker sorted out in the next 12, 24 hours, we're going to be locking that team tokens on a daily basis until that's done, to give confidence to everyone that that's all kosher. The next piece is obviously then you're going to see the only remaining tokens that are left there is what we're going to be seeding to and pairing on PancakeSwap, and a small number. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. I think from talking with EP yesterday, I think we've got 25 to 30 pre-sale spots in total left to allocate strategically. So they could be offered to call groups or, other things of that nature. But that will be all that is left in that unlocked wallet over what we're going to be pushing to Pancake that's not locked up within a very, very short period of time. So just wanted to kind of be open and honest about that. Apologise that, it hadn't been done ahead of time. It was all planned to be done in one pass to keep it simple, but we had a delay on the locker, and that's the reason. So, yeah, apologies for that. We're trying to make it right now as we speak, and appreciate your patience.
Sorry about that. I hit the mute button and took a second to get back on. So I mean that's all going to be done before launch. So it's definitely important to us to build confidence in the community as well. We've done a lot of talking here. We'll open it up to some questions so we don't drag this out all day for everybody's Saturday afternoon or Saturday night with you, Steve. I know it's like 8 o'clock at night where you are, right?
And just wait, maybe one thing, because maybe somebody's going to ask it, is we're also going to be meeting. Well, I think I talked to EP, Tevin, Mike, JB, and others more often than I currently talk to my wife. So we'll be talking soon and locking in what is exactly the launch plan going to look like on next Saturday. What time that's going to be. What's the process going to look like. And how we can make this fun, but also as exciting as humanly possible.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be great. We're definitely excited to have everybody along on this journey with us for sure. You guys should be able to just unmute at this point. I don't think anybody has to raise their hand or anything.
I think just went on mute, Mike. I'm not sure if everyone else can hear me. If anyone can hear me, could you just unmute and just give me a... Oh, no, I think you're back, Mike.
Yeah, I got you. My mute button just keeps going on and off here. All right, so anybody should be able to unmute at this point. If you guys want to ask any questions, feel free, or any comments or anything. We love hearing from you guys for sure.
I know the answer to this, but we kind of glazed over it pretty quickly. What is the starting market cap?
It will, depending on BNB, it will be plus minus probably 1,000 of the 40K mark. So a 40,000 market. We're moving 28.75 of the 33 BNB. So I think 82 or 85% of the private and pre-sale money across. But if BNB stays where it is, it will be pretty much 40K on the nose, I think.
That's good. And, at this point right now, also, any, private or pre-sale investors, nobody has more in their wallet than 1 trillion tokens. And I think that's something that's important to, bring up at this point too, because, we've all been involved in projects that, you kind of almost feel like, you're hamstring from the beginning, with other people, having like monster whale wallets. So we wanted to
Yeah.
try to make this as fair as possible to people too, that, you're going to have a chance to get in because there's also going to be a buy limit in the first 24 hours if you want to go over that, Steve.
Sure. So the buy limit is going to be 500 billion for any one transaction. That's not going to be capped for 24 hours, but if each single transaction, the max is 500 billion. And as you said, we have the max wallets of 1 trillion. I have to say, we were joking about it yesterday that I was probably too nice, in honesty, that we kind of said, when we did the private sale, we could kind of give 2 wallets to kind of friends and family. And I was stupid enough to give them to friends and family. So now I have to run the gauntlet, the same as all you other guys, to get some personal tokens that I can actually trade at launch. So, max of 500 billion. I'm sure, I'm guaranteed you're all going to beat me to the chase because you all know that my internet connection is terrible and I have to take these calls on my phone. And obviously I'll be on VC, showing my face at launch. Of course, I can show my face now if kind of anyone wants to see. I haven't gelled my hair, but I'm more than happy to do that. But yeah, I'm not going to obviously be able to be like trying to buy whilst, being excited and kind of, launching the project. So I kind of wish I hadn't given them away. But I am looking to buy my own personal, 500 billion at some point so that I can do exactly what we said, to do some trading, because that's what we need. We need the volume. But yeah, I don't have a great history of, good buys at launch. And I'm sure with such a small market cap, it's going to be wild, potentially. So hoping that you all can kind of grab a bag, and have some fun with this token.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else want to unmute? No, we got a couple new people in the chat today. We are going to post this on YouTube as well as in the room too for anyone who missed it. Anybody else?
Maybe I can just kind of just show my face for a second, just so for the video, for people who watch who don't know me, haven't joined other AMAs, you can see that I'm a real person. So, hi everyone.
There you are. All right. Well, as always, Steve, great job. You always share a lot of information and, go over a lot and you really answer a lot of people's questions probably that, if they are new to the project, before they even get a chance to answer it. So, it's definitely a testament to the hard work that you put into the project and to, just be familiar with the project and, be able to answer all those questions. Thank you guys, as always, for joining us. You're going to be seeing a lot of
question,
us.
guys.
Yeah, sure.
Crypto Bull here.
Hey,
just
Crypto
a
Bull.
simple question. What time will the launch be on April 30th? I didn't see that yet, but I think that might be good to put a UTC time. If there is one there, I apologize.
No, there's not. And I mentioned it just a second ago. We're going to meet very soon and, agree on exactly what that time looks like. I would assume that it's going to be a late night for me, but kind of a much better time in the day, potentially for the US folks. But we're going to go through that, work out exactly what that time is and get that out as soon as possible so that, people can work around whatever those plans are, et cetera, et cetera. Because, I think now we are officially into launch week. So I think we need to get that out there as soon as possible, really start, hyping that. And massive thanks, Crypto Bull, for everything you're doing on social media.
Yeah, great job.
I have to say that, unfortunately, I had a Twitter issue kind of a number of weeks or months ago, and I had a relatively large account compared to what I have now. So I think you're one of the people I follow I think crypto ball. So massive thanks. I need to follow more people, but just been busy with everything kind of in the setup and the run up to launch.
I wish I had more followers, but it's growing slowly but surely. But I keep putting them out there.
I wish I took your advice a bit more and bought into a few of these projects that you've got into recently. You're killing it.
Some of those pro projects are doing pretty well, but I missed out on the LAS, the one that you all jumped into. That seems to be doing really well.
I missed it too. So I've been hearing everybody talk about it. I've been hearing talk about it, and everybody, I'm jealous I didn't get it.
Same as that. As always, I was late to the races on that one as well. So I probably had to put in 5 times more. Well, actually, probably more than 5 times more than anyone else. But I'm glad I'm in now because it's quite an interesting concept. But just been too busy with other things to keep an eye on these other exciting projects that are coming down the road. But I wanted to kind of also do one thing just briefly before we kind of take some more questions or close, is to really, give a genuine, heartfelt thanks and call out to the guys, who are actually behind everything we're doing. We don't have them up on stage much because it's kind of, I'm doing a lot of the talking and Mike, but I have to say the great, support and work that's being done behind the scenes tirelessly from EP, our one and only educated penis, from Tevin and from J-Dub and the folks behind, and Michael as well, the graphic design. I have to say, I couldn't appreciate you guys more. We, in a lot of these AMAs, when, you're not up here talking, but we should get you up here talking because you guys are awesome and doing an amazing job. So massive thanks personally from me. And this project isn't, me just because I'm talking and Mike because he's, involved, but also has the social media channels. The guys behind this are as legit as they get. And I couldn't appreciate you all more.
Yeah, Chubbs, you do a great job with us in all the groups. Crypto Bull, thank you guys all. Definitely all for the support. If there aren't any more questions, we can wrap it up. Any more questions? We'll going once, going twice. All right, Steve, I think that's good. We covered a lot of information here, and, we'll definitely be back, this week. We're going to be doing AMAs all week, some different things, so you guys will see us around in different groups and all talking with some different people trying to get the word out. And I encourage you guys to, invite a couple friends. Friends or family that, that you think that would be interested. We definitely want to try to, focus on growing the group this week, and we're excited to have you guys on board, and it's going to be a fun launch.
Awesome. Appreciate you all, everybody. And as always, Wingman, I appreciate you too, buddy.
All right. Sounds good, buddy. Have a great rest of your night, and I will talk to you guys later on.
Awesome. Have a great evening, everyone.
All right. Good night, guys.
Bye.